Hey everybody, what's going on? It's your man Fit Tech Wellness Coach Mike. Welcome to week 4 of your 12-week challenge to improve your health and to master intermittent fasting and high-fat, low-carb diet eating. So week 4, where are we at? Well, we're not still in the last week of the eating schedule. We're actually changing this week's eating schedule. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about carbohydrates. We're going to talk about what's in your pantry, what's in your fridge, and kind of taking things out that we don't want to, indulge in or kind of sabotage our efforts. So let's talk about that first. Your pantry and your fridge. If you go shopping for foods that set you up for success, you won't worry about failure. Because if you surround yourself around the foods that you know that you need to eat, that will help you regulate your diet and regulate your habits and your hunger, then you'll be more prone to success. But if you get foods that's going to sabotage your efforts, then you might as well not even do any program like this, because why put yourself around a bunch of foods that's going to cause you to relapse, right? So go through your pantry, go through your fridge, and remove as much as you can of those types of foods. Okay, as much as you possibly can, and then start to replace those foods with things that you know are beneficial for your effort. All right, so we don't gotta go into detail. You know what those foods are: all your refined sugars, all your processed foods, all those types of things. Okay. The next thing that you want to do is we want to talk a little bit about introduce you to high fat, low carbohydrate eating. What that is pretty simple: higher fat content foods, low carbohydrate foods. Now, what are some of your carbohydrates? We're talking about processed and refined sugars, your grains, your rices, your pastas, your granolas,
I feel like this part of my food.
Okay, your different types of sugars that really cause you and I to be overweight. Those are foods that we don't want to consume. All right. Instead of that, you want to make sure that you eat non-starchy vegetables. Starchy veggies are like corn, things like that. Vegetables that you don't cook are starchy. Vegetables that you really have to cook are non-starchy. So you want to make sure that you eat primarily non-starchy veggies. Like broccoli, cauliflower. There are tons of them. Okra. You got asparagus. Tons of them. Bok choy. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And how you cook them is important as well. You want to cook them in fat. Cook them in real butter. Cook them in olive oil. Cook them in avocado oil. Cook them in coconut oil. Ghee. Things like that. Those are the types of things that you want to surround those non-starchy veggies with. And then of course here are your higher fat options, right? High fat options are some of the oils I just mentioned. Those oils are good to use for cooking, right? Incorporate higher fat content foods such as some of your lean meats, your salmon, if you like nuts, right? If you don't mind eating nuts, incorporate your nuts, your eggs, your cage-free, not only cage-free but range-free eggs. Okay, tuna. Okay, so those things that are higher in healthy fat, right? You can either go grass, non-meat, or you can go, meat fat. I mean, either way, but as long as it's a healthy source of it. Okay, if you're gonna do meats, go with the humanely grown organic meats. Okay, don't go for the stuff that you find in the supermarkets. That stuff is not good. Go for grass-fed, organically grown meats. Okay, that's what you want to do. And by doing this will help with our carbohydrate detox. By removing all the carbohydrates, what we're trying to do, guys, is we're trying to get our body to become less carbohydrate adapted and more fat adapted. When we were first born, we were adapted to, if we breastfed, we were adapted to fat. But as we began to eat food, our bodies turned over from fat to carbohydrate adaptation. And so we want to remove the dependency of using glucose and glycogen for energy and using fat for energy. And if we can do this, then we can train our body to use fat for energy and not the glycogen that's stored up. We want to use that to get, this is why we're doing the carbohydrate detox, because if we don't add any carbohydrates to our diet, the body will use what the body has stored up. The body will start to use those carbohydrates that's stored up. And once those carbohydrates are empty and you're not putting any more carbs in, you're primarily putting fat and protein in and non-starchy veggies, then the body will say, when you fast, your body will say, let's go to the fat for energy since we don't have any new carbohydrates in. Okay? That's what the body will do. All right? So now we are, like I said, we are on a schedule of eating for this week. 2 3-meal days and 3 fasting days. So 3 intermittent fasting days. So 2 meal days and 3 intermittent fasting days. Okay? That's what we're doing this week. Okay? 2 meal days and 3 intermittent fasting days. That's what we're doing. Okay? So what that is again, you're doing 2 3 meals a day and 3 days where you're eating your 16 to 8 window with 2 90-minute windows within those hours of eating. Okay, so you pick 2 90-minute windows within those hours of eating, and then you stop. So 3 of those days and 2 3 meals a day days. Okay? All right, so hope this was helpful, guys. Hope you're going to have a good week. Remember, this is not an easy process. This is work. This is effort. But don't quit. Hang in there. This is a process, right? You're trying to undo years of abuse to your body. So don't think it's going to happen overnight. Expect some ups and downs, some bumps in the road, because you're trying to undo something that you have put your body through for a long, long time. All right, so stay tuned for week 5, and let's keep hope alive. All right, this is your man, Fit Tech Wellness Coach Mike, signing out. Peace.